Check 1, check 2, check 3. Can you hear me? Check 1, check 2, check 3. Can you hear me? What's going on, everybody? Please let me know if you can hear me, if I'm live, if you're online, subscriber chat only, members only, subscriber. Just want to find out if you guys can see me, if I'm online, if everything is going copacetic. We'll get the show started if all is good in a couple of minutes. Once again, if you're in the chat room, subscriber only mode to chat. Let me know if you're online, if you can hear me, if everything is looking good so far. I'm checking my phone as well. It says I'm online. I just don't see anything in the chat room, and I want to communicate with the chat room. It looks like I'm live, so I'm going to leave it at that. All right. I'm not going to worry about it. Looks like we're live. Only subscribers of 10, 20 minutes can talk, or members. All right. Whatever. We'll figure it out. There we go. We got somebody named Big Joe. What's up, dude? Show will go live in about 2 minutes. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. We got Dionysus online. Love you as well, brother. We'll go live in about, I don't know, minute and a half officially with me on screen. Hopefully you guys are having a blessed day. And we'll get this rolling. Consider becoming a member, chat room, all that other good stuff. Love you guys. Blah, blah, blah. All right, let me close this screen. I think it's working. Sorry, guys, I got a lot of screens up. It's hard to do it all sometimes for me. All right, live in 20 seconds. We're going to have a good show, y'all. We're going to have a good show. Interesting show with a lot of topics. What's going on, my Raider Nation family? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming to you with a Friday, finally, a Raider football talk for Friday, May 11th, a few days before Mother's Day. And I just want to let everybody know, if you love your mother, many people don't, but if you love your mother, respect her, take her out, treat her to something good, let her know you're thinking about her. Just like Willie Brown would say, take care of your mothers. Let them know you love them. Even your baby's mamas, because they're mothers to your babies, if you know what I'm saying. This is Raider Football Talk, where each and every Friday, or whenever I decide to go online, we talk Raiders. Please hit up that hotline. We don't get no phone calls. None of you guys call. I guess I don't got a lot of viewers, but that's okay. Hit up that hotline, leave some quotes, some rants, whatever you want to talk about, so we can actually do that on a future show. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications when and if I go live. For people like Big Joe 67, Dionysus, Panic is online early, and all that other good stuff. And this is a subscriber/member only chat room. So you got to be a subscriber, you got to be a member to chat, and all that. Consider super chat, donations, and all that other good stuff. And let's get it all out of the way. We got an interesting show for you guys today. I woke up to a nightmare, and we're going to discuss it. I was just going to do the schedule release party. You know, I was going to predict the schedules, talk about a couple of little topics. But then I got some news about a hated player named Tom Brady. And I just had to go live. I just had to go live and rant. We're going to get into that and more. We're going to talk about the Stooges. That's right, the Three Stooges. Dan-da-da-dan, dan-da-da-dan, dan-da-da-dan. I don't even know the theme song, but I love the Three Stooges. That's what we're going to talk about on today's show. We're going to talk about all the Three Stooges, all the decisions they're making, and all the repercussions that are coming with it. We're also going to talk, is Tom Brady joining the Raiders? In what capacity? Is this a reality? Will he be our quarterback? What the heck is going on with the third stooge of Mark Davis? Is he broke? Why is he doing this? There's a lot to talk about. Guys, the Raiders keep getting worse. We can't get no better. And the rumors that they're calling us the Patriots West, it's looking like reality. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it, y'all. All right, I want to give support to all my official members on the channel. These are all the members as of today. Consider becoming a member. I think it's $2 or $3 a month. Helps me get me out of bed, buy some tacos, try to pay my bills, do anything. It helps me. Appreciate it. Every video I make on YouTube only makes like $1 to $2 at most in ad revenue. And I do like 2 videos a week, basically. So I'm making $4. So your members, your donations, your super chats, your becoming a member, all of that saves my life and helps motivate me to create content like I did today. As you can see, I'm clean shaven. I was able to pay all my bills this past month, fill up my fridge thanks to food stamps, EBT, thank you. Paid my bills for the month. And now I'm getting online with a little bit of positivity, even though it turned out to be a bad day. But Beto Gonzalez, Robert Hernandez, Rob Bass, Akenta Storm, Katrina Sally, Raiders Incorporated, Addicted to Profits, Grumpy Raider Fan, Demi by Nature, Unholy Raider, Rolling Raider, Frankie Misquado, Nikhil, Francisco J, Demon Bitch, Defend the Shield, 818 Raider donated all the time to me, and I thank you and I love you. Steve Munoz, Afakashi Raider, Tony Raider as well. I love you all. I can't thank you enough. thank you guys for becoming members. If you'd like to become a member, hit that join button, become a member. You get exclusive content and from members only streams like this, where, you know, I talk to members in the chat rooms or whatever only, or subscribers as well. I don't know how that works. I'm still figuring it out. Hopefully we're going to have some Raider clips coming up, some exclusive content. But again, YouTube messes with me and the copyrights and the flags, and I've been struggling. I think my channel is marked anytime I upload a video, whether it be football related or from some other source, my video gets flagged. And then any word I say gets flagged, and then I have to have them review it just to make the $2. I don't want to get into it. It's a hassle. YouTube is dying. It's ridiculous, but it's the only platform I got that even gives me a little bit of money. I know I can do Patreon, but then I have to go to learn a whole new platform, and it's a lot. But thank you, my members of this channel. I love you guys. Thank you guys for chiming in. John James is online, and Dionysus, Panic, and Big Joe as of right now. And chime in the chat room. The chat room is great, guys. Everybody's friendly. Everybody's friendly. And I should make some people moderators. So maybe Dionysus, I'm going to make you a moderator, bro. I'm going to make you, can remove it and how to put you, there you go. I'm going to make you, Dionysus, a moderator. So anybody you hate, you can get rid of. Or at least put them in timeout. Because I don't want to deal with it. Come on, what the heck is this? I got a dang pop-up from my computer screen about a scan. What the heck is going on? Turn this thing off. Don't scan while I'm going live. Let me see if I can just get rid of this dang thing somehow. My goodness, guys, sorry. I didn't expect this to happen. Whatever. Let's see if that turned it off. Disable for an hour. Okay, there. I think I disabled it, guys. Goodness gracious. I don't know what's going on. Haven't been on my computer in a while. All right. So that's what's going on. Check out this commercial. I do have merchandise from my career and other things. I think the link is down below, at least to the Raider part of the store, but you can find the store from them. So please watch this commercial. Consider buying some merchandise from me, my career, and supporting your boy. In another way you can support me, the creator of this content, is checking out my merchandise store with the links below. We got t-shirts for sale. Anything that I got available, I'm going to get it to you. Like Donkey Lips t-shirts. You love Donkey Lips. They come in a variety of colors. Why don't you pick yourself up one? Hey, become a camper, camp on Awana. Pick up a personalized autographed photo sent to you. I also have cameos available that also come with a personalized autographed photo shout out sent to you from Cameo. And right now, limited Zeke the Plumber Plushy Nightmare t-shirts. That's right. Everything's limited. Everything's on sale. Support your boy, Michael Ray Haybauer. Links down below. Thanks, guys, for putting up with that. There is some Raider merchandise from this channel in the links down below as well. I appreciate you guys for subscribing. Consider becoming a member. Hit that super chat, that like, that button, all that good stuff. Consider becoming a member to support me. Blah, 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 blah. Let's move on. It's time for the show. We got John L. Davis. What's up, John L. Davis? I love you, brother. B. Al. Salute Raiderettes and the Raiders. Raiderettes are hot, man. They need to have a porn section on Pornhub. They need to have a porn section that says, like, Raiderette porn. Or Chola Raiderette porn. I don't know. Just Raiderette porn. I'd watch that all day. All day. All right. Whoops. Whoops. Let's quickly go over the draft picks and the grades because I haven't done a show post-draft, even though a lot of you guys saw my reaction video to the draft. Let's do an official post-draft reaction. And I hope the music is not too much. I don't know. I hear it pretty loud, but Maybe we could change that in a minute. Let's see. Let's see if I can turn down whatever music is going on a little bit in the background. Just turn it down just a little bit. All right, there we go. I think I got it. Turned it down just a little bit. All right, this is the official draft picks. I can't even read their names on screen. I need better graphics. But there they are. We got Tyree Wilson, Michael Meyer, Trey Tucker, Bennett. We can deal with that, do with the grades. But let's take a look at the undrafted. Okay, come on, computer screen. Please work for me. My computer freezes up so much, guys. Forgive me. Let's take a look at the undrafted players that were announced after the draft. I don't know everybody, but let's see what they added. They basically, during the draft, guys, let's be honest, we had a need at almost every position, and it seemed like they got one player from every single position during the draft. I don't think there was any real double-down strategy. I don't think there was any of that intelligence happening with Josh McDaniels or whatever during the draft. That's just my perspective. I'm salty. I guess you guys call me a hater, whatever you want. Okay, I don't care anymore. But it feels like they need, we need a wide receiver, we can get him in the 3rd round. We need a defensive edge rusher, we can get him in the 1st round. We need a cornerback, we can get him in the 5th round. We need a safety, we can get him in the 7th round. We need a defensive lineman, we can get him in the 4th round. We need a wide receiver, we can get him in the 3rd round, whatever. It just seems like they were just plucking things, that there was no real strategy. That's just my opinion, guys. So now this is where our team is going to be built. Again, not all the draft picks are going to hit. So this is where our team is really being built in the depth category. So these are the players they picked up. They picked up a defensive lineman, David Ohuga, out of college NFL. I can't even read it. NFL PPP, 6'4", 252 pounds. All right, we got a defensive lineman. Then we got a guard, Curtis McClendon, 6'6". That's a big boy. 325 pounds. That's a big boy out of Chattanooga. We got an offensive lineman. That's good. Will he make the team again? Who knows? If we get two of these players that make the team, then great. Jaden Grant, safety, 6 foot, 190 out of Oregon State. Cornerback Azizi Hearn, 6'1". Good, we got a cornerback over 6 feet. Thank you, goodness. In my opinion, all cornerbacks need to be over 6 feet. And these 5'11", 5'10" cornerback, get them out the league. It's my opinion. Get them out the league. Well, they're quick. Make them a wide receiver. But they don't have the hands. That's why they're a cornerback. They're good at blocking. 204 out of UCLA. That's right. A little bit of homegrown talent. Aziz Hearn. Brock Martin, defensive edge rusher, 6'2", 243 out of Oklahoma State. We got a Perryman back. Jordan Perryman, cornerback, 6 feet, 198 out of Washington, bigger type school, good competition. Adam Plant, a defensive, it says DC. Is that a defensive center? Or is that an OC? No, it says DE. Can't even read. Defensive edge rusher, 6'5", 260 out of UNLV, y'all. Out of UNLV, that's right. He just has to run down the street. That'd be nice if he made the team. That'd be a good story. John Shanker, tight end, 6'3", 242 out of Auburn. All right, interesting. George Tarlush, defensive edge rusher, 6'3", 253 out of Boise State. Drake Thomas, that's a good name for a linebacker. Drake Thomas. Oh, but he's only 5'11". Get him out of here! Even though it's a linebacker position. Get him out! I'm just kidding. 223 out of North Carolina State. Dalton Wagner. I've heard that name before. Tackle. Wow, we got a tackle. Is he going to replace Colton Miller next year? 6'8". Boy, our offensive linemen that we drafted, they're tall. And they're 320 pounds. They're big. Don't expect a lot of movement from them. They're just there to block and create like a little bit of circumference difference. They're not meant to move around the field and run up and down. And out of Arkansas. So there it is. That's our undrafted free agent signings. Looks like we filled the void. They didn't go after a free agent quarterback. Why would they? They got Brian Hoyer. They got whoever. But in my opinion, they should have. Why not? Double down, triple down. Maybe you find a diamond in the rough somehow. I don't know. But hey, this is the truth of where our team will be. Hopefully our draft picks pan out and all of them make the team. But this is the future. If we can get 2 or 3 of these undrafted players to be that good, we had a great, brilliant draft class and undrafted free agent class. That'd be pretty dang awesome. All right, let's look at the official, I think it's CBS grades for the official draft class from experts. Then we're going to compare them to my grades, and you're going to see the real expert. So, Tyree Wilson, edge out of Texas Tech, got an A according to CBS. Michael Mayer got a B+. Byron Young out of Bama got a D. Remember that controversy? There's another Byron Young that's better, that's available, blah, 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 blah. Then Trey Tucker, wide receiver out of Cincy, in a Tyreek Hill-esque play, A-. Jakarian Bennett, cornerback out of Maryland, A-. Wow, they're giving a lot of big grades. Maybe they know more than I do. No. Aiden O'Connell, quarterback out of Purdue, C+. Christopher Smith, safety out of Georgia, C+. Amari Burney, linebacker out of Florida, C-. Nesta Jade Silvera. That's a name you say when you're drunk and you're trying to order food at Taco Bell at 4 o'clock in the morning. They're like, hey, can I get your order? You're not in the car. Hopefully it's an open Taco Bell. Hey, let me get a Nesta Jade Silvera with hot sauce. The fire sauce. What is that again? I want a Nesta Jade Silvera with fire sauce. They gave him a B+, defensive lineman out of Arizona State. All right, guys, let's go to the real expert and the one that knows the Raiders more than almost anybody. I don't care what these young bucks are saying nowadays. If you guys were fans of my channel many years ago and you remember the videos, everything I said almost came true. So, I'm the guru. So, you guys don't have to believe it. You can believe Mitchell Renz, Sanjit, or Samoan, or Murph, or anybody's the guru, but it's me. It's Mikey Raider. Not only am I an OG or an old-ass person in real life, I'm a guru. So here's my official draft grades for the Raiders and their grades for each individual player. Tyree Wilson. I don't need to explain what I thought about him or whatever. I give him a B-. I gave him a C+ initially after the reaction video, but I bumped him up to a B-. He's got injury concerns, and he's very humble. I saw a video with him crying for his mother. Brought him up to a B-. I'm rooting for this kid, but there's injury concerns and some other stuff, and he's got a lot of bling. He's got his own logo before he's even made it on the field. But hey, I'm honestly rooting for this guy after I watched some highlights and some video. Give this guy a B-. Why? I don't know. Sounds like a good grade for him. Then we got Michael Myers, the scary tight end prospect on our team that we had a need at. I give him a B. I understood this pick. I enjoyed this pick. And I can see him being the baby Gronk. A lot of people saying he's drafted to be baby Gronk. He's drafted to be baby Gronk. Blah, 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 blah. All right, whatever. Well, there you go. You got a B. So become baby Gronk. Then we got the Byron Young controversy. A lot of people said we got the wrong one. He might have been available in the next couple rounds. I give that draft pick a C. That's right. You don't like it? I don't care. Then we went out and got Trey Tucker, little 5'11", little speed, little rat, little slot wide receiving rat. To build some speed, to catch the ball in the backfield, to break open, break tackles. Give him. Hopefully he can put it all together like Tyreek Hill or any of those other players. But I enjoyed that pick after I learned who he was. And I like the potential. I like the potential in our offense. But again, he's got to put it on the field. What do I give that grade of Trey Tucker, the little rat? I give him a C+. That's right. Many people thought he could be drafted later, blah, 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 blah. It's all good. It fills the need. We got a lot of wide receivers, a lot of slot wide receivers. Let's see what happens. If it doesn't pan out, I'm giving him a C+ for the potential. But in all honesty, I'd give it a C. Then we got Jakarian Bennett. I'd give him a C. I forgot the position of him. Again, I can't read it on screen. My eyes are pretty bad. I'd give him a C. I think the professionals gave him like an A or something right there. Let me see if I can bring that professional grade up for Jakarian Bennett real quick. What did they give him there? They gave him an A- at cornerback. Maybe they know something that I don't know. I don't think so. I'm normally good at this stuff. Then Aiden O'Connell, what did they give him, a C+? What did I give Aiden O'Connell? A C+. Hey, me and the experts agree. I gave Aiden O'Connell a C+. Is he the next Roethlisberger? He throws the ball deep, but he's not a scat back. He's not going to make a lot of plays, and a lot of people were happy that they got rid of Derek Carr in the promise of getting a quarterback that could run around like a little rat and make some big plays. So why did they let the promise of that type of quarterback for the Raiders was not drafted? They went with, I guess, the educated, intelligent brain, reading the defense type of quarterback, which is okay. But if people were complaining, I'm glad they got rid of Carr. We need a quarterback with legs. You know, we need one of those type of quarterbacks. Then what does Josh McDaniels do? Basically doubles down with a worse player in Garoppolo. Then he picks a quarterback named Aiden O'Connell, who doesn't even have a skill set to run around the field and make plays. Where's the promise of a Patrick Mahomes? Where's the promise of a Jamarcus Russell? Where's the promise of one of those amazing quarterbacks that can literally change an entire franchise in the first or second year? We got a Jimmy Garoppolo clone. We got a Roethlisberger clone. We got a Derek Carr clone. We got an Aaron Rodgers clone. We got a Tom Brady clone. I'm just saying that, from my opinion, the league's being taken over by more athletic quarterbacks, and then the quarterbacks in the veins of Tom Brady or whatever that typically win Super Bowls. Let's be honest. They typically win of them, except for Patrick Mahomes. We don't have a quarterback like that on our roster with athletic skills. But most of the quarterbacks in the league is changing to the Patrick Mahomes type and the Josh Allen type. And as a coach, you got to do more coaching. You got to do more coaching for those type of players. And let's be honest, Josh McDaniels doesn't want to do more coaching. He's got a system, and that's it. You're coming into my system. I don't want to have to create plays. I don't want to have to create a system. I don't want to create any of that. I'm just going to bring in Tom Brady clones, and I'm going to see what I got in my system. So, for some of you, you might be happy. For others like me, it just makes me mad that he got rid of Derek Carr. Derek Carr is an intelligent quarterback. He has many flaws. And I know we saved $15 million. I get it. But with the getting rid of Derek Carr, as a fan, I was hoping to find another Patrick Mahomes. I was hoping to find a Josh Allen. I was hoping to find one of those in the rookie draft class where maybe he moved up and got us a player like that. But he didn't. Josh McDaniels does what he always does. He believes he's the quarterback guru. Even worse than John Gruden was. C+, Aiden O'Connell. I'm going to leave it at that. Now, Christopher Smith. I give him a B-. I enjoy that pick of Christopher Smith. What did the experts give him? Oh, they gave him a C+. Yeah, I think, whoops. I think Christopher Smith is going to be a very, very good safety. I think he'll be in there and have some big plays. I liked what I saw from the highlights. Again, I don't know how to explain what I saw, but I liked his athletic ability. Now, we're talking about who's next. Amari Burney, the linebacker. They gave him a C-. I gave him I believe it was a C+ that I gave him because we have a needed linebacker. Then the Taco Bell order at 3 o'clock in the morning when you're drunk with fire sauce, Nesta Jada Shavera. I give him a C+. And what did they give him again? I just like to compare. They gave him a B+, the defensive lineman. So overall, my draft grade is basically they're all like C+. A couple of them are a little bit above a C+. So the overall draft for me is like a B-, like a C+, B-. That's just from my perspective. And in 3 years, let's see if I'm right. And to be honest with you, I'm just gonna predict the studs that in 3 years will still be on the team. Okay? Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, Christopher Smith, and Nesta Jada. No, I'm not going to pick him. I think, again, I might be really, really bad. Those are the people that I think in 3 years, like after the 3rd year, will still be on our roster. I guess that's going into the 4th year, the 3rd year, whatever, the 4th year. It will be Tyree Wilson, Michael Mayer, Christopher Smith, and that's it. Those are my predictions, guys. Whether they're bold or not, I don't know. You guys tell me. Let me know in the comments down below or in the forum what players you think will still be on the roster after the 3rd year. I'm going to cut that up as a clip and remember it. So we got Fizell. What's up, Fizell Washington? Will we be able to wear Patriot Tom Brady jerseys to the games? Oh, we're going to discuss that in a minute. What's up, DB Crypto? Hey, Mikey, hope you're doing well. Hope you come back as the OG on a regular basis. I'm trying, brother, but, like, my computer ain't so good. I don't got cameras. I don't got a lot of time. I got a little bit of health issues. Yeah, it's a struggle, brother. He's not buying the Raiders, big guy. M85, how you been? Is what it is. They drafted Carr. Don't give him an O-line. Supporting D broke his back and leg. Then Josh McPhail, you're disappointed. What is? I think you're being an optimist, Mikey. I'm trying to. Silvera gives you Tommy Kelly vibes. Oh, what's up, Afakashi Raider? Thank you for that. Your bold take. That Silvera gives you Tommy Kelly vibes. How you doing, by the way, brother? Good to see you, man. I know it's probably early in the morning or late at night, your time. Tommy Kelly. Yeah, I got to watch some video on Nesta Jade Silvera, the Taco Bell order. You guys let me know who you think will still be on the team in 3 years. And that hasn't happened to a lot of players, even before McDaniels took over the team or after. It's rough. It's been rough. It's a rough desert for the Raiders draft picks. That's why we're not building a winning franchise. It just boggles my mind. Boggles my mind. How do you go from a playoff team with Rich Bisaccia to getting rid of almost everybody, winning 6 games and tanking? And tanking not even to get a quarterback. Tanking to get Garoppolo. right, let's talk about it, y'all. Apparently, according to Adam Schefter, when I woke up this morning, I woke up at, let's be honest, probably like 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, whatever time I woke up. According to Adam Schefter, NFL legend Tom Brady is in deep discussions to become a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Sources tell ESPN's Seth Wickersham. Do you guys know who Seth Wickersham is? That's the dude that has issues with Bill Belichick and the Patriots. He always writes articles about them. He had inside information and all this other stuff. And he doesn't get along with the Patriots. Seth Wickersham. Where did he get this inside knowledge? Well, Tom Brady apparently gives him inside knowledge. So, per Seth Wickersham, Tom Brady is in deep discussions to become a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. Potentially his second foray into partnership with the Raiders owner, Mark Davis, on a professional sports feed in less than 2 months. What does he mean by that? Well, for the people that don't see the signs, but guess what? I saw the sign, and it opened up my eyes. I saw the sign. Now we're going to get Brady. He's going to be a damn Raider. Mark Davis always wanted him since 2020. According to Tom Brady, Gruden vouched for Derek Carr, didn't sign Tom Brady. Tom Brady went on a podcast and said, "You're keeping that MFer?" And he was talking about Derek Carr. Then he was going to try to get a minority stake in the Miami Dolphins. We know what happened there. He went to the Tampa Bay Bucks. They lost draft picks. They lost money. Then he was pissed off. He lost his wife because he went back to football. And then now he's been meeting with Mark Davis. Then he bought a minority stake in the dang Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA team that Mark Davis owns. And now he's in deep discussions to get a stake in the Raiders. It's happening. Tom Brady's a businessman. He's looking into business post-football career. Mark Davis owns 47% of the Raiders. But if Carroll Davis passes away, there's an estate tax that will be owed to the government. And that estate tax, the value of it, and I don't know all the reports, it's based on the value of the Raiders at the time. Rumors are the Raiders are valued at $5 to $8 billion. I'm going to say it's closer to $5 billion with the clown show that we have. But the estate tax is somewhere, I don't know the exact neat numbers, might be 23%, but I heard that it's close to $750 million. If Carroll Davis dies, Mark Davis will owe a state tax to the government upwards of $700 to $800 million. And he's going to have trouble paying that. So that's why he's been selling stakes or stocks into the Raiders to multiple people as of the last 3 years. Then why would you go buy a WNBA team, Mark, if you don't got that money? Are you just trying to buy assets to stay in Vegas? The NFL is cracking down on you, brother. You ain't making as much money as you think. And you don't have as much money as people say. And if you can't even pay your estate tax, what tax is that? I got to look that up. That freaks me out and boggles my mind. Isn't Nevada a no-tax state? Again, I don't know what it means. I'm not that professional. But that's a lot of frickin' money. $700 to $800 million if his mother dies and she's in her 90s? That's going to happen soon. Mark Davis knows it's going to happen. So that's why Mark Davis is trying to get ahead of it and get that money and sell stake in the Raiders. Because remember, if he's less of an owner, he'll owe less estate tax. Then if he sells some stake in the Raiders before his mother dies, he'll be less of an owner, therefore decreasing the value of the actual estate tax he'll have to pay. Because he won't have 47% ownership. He might have 40. So that might bring it down from 700 million to 600 million to 500 million. And then where's he getting that extra money from? By selling it to players like Tom Brady or to other venture capitalists or whoever else. Maybe he's selling 10%, 7%. I don't know. Will the NFL put the pressure on yearly for him to get rid of the rest? I do not know. A lot of Raider fans are upset with him, think he's a clown show. I do as well. Do I still want the Raiders to be under the Davis name? You're damn right I do. A lot of Raider fans want him to sell the Raiders. I want him to sell it to a Davis. But there aren't any. Ain't nobody having sex with him. Ain't nobody want to have a baby with this cut guy. That's why he has to hire prostitutes to be in his damn in his private box. Again, he wants to be a businessman, but he's selling off his businesses. What is he doing with his money? Maybe he could have afforded to pay the estate tax if he didn't buy the WNBA aces. Again, I don't know how much it really costs. But let's just talk about this Tom Brady for an instance. Tom Brady is supposed to start a 10-year, $375 million Fox television deal. Spent $38 million a year to be a broadcaster or an announcer for Fox. What does this mean for the Raiders? A lot of people are speculating, oh, he's going to play for the Raiders again, or he's going to become the quarterback for the Raiders. I don't think so. He's not going to even get $37 million for 1 year if he was the quarterback of the Raiders. But depending on how much he gets in the Raiders, percentage-wise, from Mark Davis, maybe 5%. What is the value of that? Maybe 100 million? Again, I don't know. I got to go over all the things, but he's probably looking at 3% or 4% of trying to get into the Raiders. So if the Raiders were worth $10 billion, it's like $100 million maybe for 4% or something like that. Tom Brady doesn't have $100 million. His wife made more money than he did. But if he does the Fox deal, he'll have $375 million basically for 10 years. So he could afford a minority stake in the Raiders. But let's be honest, he just bought a minority stake with the WNBA Aces. And let me be honest with you guys, did he really buy it? Or did Mark Davis give it to him? Do you understand what I'm saying? Or is Mark Davis giving him shares in the Raiders now to become the spokesperson, to raise the value of the team in the public eye, to get people into the stands and all that other stuff? There's a lot of mystery surrounding this information that hopefully will play itself out in the next couple of months. But my honest reaction, do I want Tom Brady as a minority owner in the Raiders? Heck no. Get out of my face. Stop becoming the Patriots West. What are you doing, Mark Davis? If you need money, sell it to a dang Raider player. You should have sold it to Magic Johnson when you were in talks with Magic Johnson like 5 years ago. Why ruin the legacy of the Raider fans that already hate Tom Brady? Publicly, this is a disaster for real OG Raider fans. For the newbies that love Tom Brady, they just want to win, they want to make money, they love Vegas, they want to drink, they want to drug. Oh, Tom Brady's going to bring a winning culture. Josh McDaniels going to bring a winning culture. This is the final nail in the coffin for OG Raider fans like many of you. We are no longer the Raiders. We are a big business called the Raiders. We're no longer living off our legacy, but we're creating a new legacy based off another NFL franchise. It's no longer in the family, from my perspective. This burns my britches, guys. Burns my britches. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. If there was a rumor that Mark Davis wanted Tom Brady in 2020 and now he's retired, he could literally be paid to come back to play for this team. He could literally be paid to come back and play for the Raiders, depending on Garoppolo's injury, if he wanted to, without tampering charges, because he retired. But he could literally come back to this team and be our quarterback this year if Garoppolo got injured or whatever. And how can he be paid? Instead of $20, $30 million, which he would require, he gets paid in the Raiders. Maybe that's what the deal is. It's Mark Davis is giving him 1% or 2% or 3% to hopefully come back and play for the Raiders. And that would pay him $30, $40, $50 million. But it would be payment to play for the Raiders, but it would be with Raiders stocks or Raiders percentage. Because that's the only way Mark Davis can pay. So I think there's a story here that is going to get really interesting in the next week or two. And I hope we can find out the truth. Is he only going to be a minority partner? How much percentage? Because Mark Davis needs money. Or is there something cooking where Tom Brady might possibly, for 1 year, come back to play for the Raiders? And then he gets a percentage of the team for that year. Or do we start the season and he's at Fox? Then maybe Garoppolo or somebody gets injured. And then Josh McDaniels just gives a phone call to Tom Brady and says, hey, you're already part owner of the team. You think you can come down and play some games for us? We're in a playoff hunt. Then maybe he leaves Fox for like 5 or 6, 7 games and plays. It's a lot of theories that can go on, and I don't know what's going to happen. But I'm really sickened, and I'm having a nightmare, guys, just thinking about how Tom Brady and the Patriots are infecting the Raiders roster and the Raiders legacy and the Raiders organization. Sell it to the fans like the Packers do. Sell the team to the fans. Put out 3% on the stock market or something like that. And let the Raider fans go out and buy it. Let us pay you, Mark Davis. Let us go out and buy part of the team like the damn Green Bay Packers. What the hell are you doing? The hell are you doing? I don't know if that's possible. I'm going to leave it at that. Let's watch a little report, guys, about Tom Brady from more intelligent people than I am.
You know, we can't just have a day when we focus on the schedule. Here comes Bigfoot. Here he comes, crapping all over our day to talk about the schedule. Tom Brady's back. ESPN reports that Tommy is in deep discussions with Mark Davis to become a limited partner in the Las Vegas Raiders. He already is a limited partner in the Las Vegas Aces, the WNBA team that Mark Davis owns. Now, Tom Brady could become a limited partner in the Raiders. And if you've heard this one before, it's because you have. It was last year. This is how it was going to go. Limited partner of the Dolphins, and then, conveniently, quarterback of the Dolphins. I can't imagine Brady becoming quarterback of the Raiders. And I also think it would foreclose him playing for anyone else. If you're a limited partner of the Raiders, it would be awkward, to say the least, to go accept employment with some other team. But Tom Brady does whatever he wants to do. I mean, how can he work for Fox if he's a part owner of the Raiders? There's just so many weird things.
I thought of that too, right.
It's Tom Brady. It's Tom Brady, so he'll get to do whatever he wants to do. But if it was anybody else, it wouldn't even be a question. It's not happening. It would seem to nullify his deal with Fox if he's a part owner of one of the NFL's teams.
Correct. That's what we were just talking about. Let's be honest, man. Tom Brady becoming the Raiders quarterback, again, is a plausible scenario. It's really, really plausible. Because Fox said they would wait for Tom Brady no matter what. So maybe he retired so that he can get a part of the ownership of the Aces from Mark Davis, and there was no tampering. Then he could get a part of the ownership with the Raiders for no tampering, and then he can come back and play. It's scary. I don't think I'm going to give it like a 50% chance that he is the quarterback for the Raiders. But in terms of becoming a minority stake owner in the Raiders, look, I'm going to give that an 80% chance. That's why it's deep discussions.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how that works. It does seem like maybe a little bit of a conflict of interest, but I don't know if it really matters in the long run, right? I mean, so but I'm with you where you first hear it and you go, okay, wait, is he thinking about playing? I don't really think that's a real thing either.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm
But
intrigued by this
50-50.
This investment in Las Vegas and whatever else. And hey, damn, he's got a lot of money, and maybe he just looks like this is a safe way to invest the money in a product that continues to just appreciate and go upwards. And as far as NFL football teams, maybe that's how he looks at it. But an interesting partnership, one Raiders, Las Vegas, all of that. And then when Josh McDaniels is the head coach and there's such a history there, I think that's what makes you maybe wonder even more.
And it feels so good.
What do you think Jimmy Garoppolo's first?
Oh my gosh! Would this effing guy just get the F out of here? That's his first reaction. Very similar to what Tua's was last week. They're both calling each other.
Oh, that is
This
so
effing
true.
guy just
Jimmy Garoppolo cannot get away from Tom Brady. Same thing with Tua that they said, but that is so funny.
Get the hell out of my turf or my area for once.
Well, we'll have full coverage of it at PFT. I'll be writing something about it when the show's over. I have many thoughts, and look.
Come on, talk about the money.
I don't know that he's going to play again.
Come on, Mike Florio. You're the lawyer. You're that type of guy. Talk about the money situation. Do you not know any of it? Or with the estate tax?
But they have Garoppolo. They drafted Aiden O'Connell. They don't need him. Maybe it does represent his way of slamming the door on not playing, because he would either have to play for the Raiders or not play at all if he's part owner of the Raiders. But we'll see where it goes. And it's not even done yet. It's just deep discussions. But there are no accidents. There are no coincidences. This isn't getting reported today without his blessing. We know that that's the way the world works. Because all these people who are reporting this stuff now knew all the stuff that only we were talking about last year, but for whatever reason they weren't reporting it with the Dolphins. So it wasn't some big secret. It's just it was kept secret.
Well, what's the
this
end
isn't
game
being kept secret. It's
here?
out there because he wants it to be.
Right. Like that. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, what's the end game here? As far as does Mark Davis need the cash? Is this something about just adding to the popularity of Las Vegas, and we have a big star here, and Brady, who's part owner of the team? I guess that's where I'm like a little intrigued by what's going down here.
I do not know anything about Mark Davis's personal wealth, his holdings, his ability to continue to own the team into the future. I don't know anything about that, but I do know this. People I know around the league will just from time to time mention that when Al Davis's widow, Carol, passes, it's going to create
estate tax.
A tax estate situation that could be problematic for Mark Davis vis-a-vis continuing to own the team. And I don't know where the Raiders are going from an ownership standpoint, and I don't know why Tom Brady would want to get in if things are going to be changing potentially. I don't know any of that. All I know is people I know around the league have that as one of the hot spots for potential transfer at some point, for a sale at some point, potentially. And Brady doesn't have the money to ever be the controlling owner.
Of course not.
Few people do. as the value goes up and up and up. But he could be the face of the team. He could be involved. And as you said, Chris, there's going to be continual enhancement of the investment. Whatever he puts in is going to go up and up and up in value, and he could cash out if they sell the team for a lot more than he's putting in. Hi, it's Mike.
Guys, pretty interesting topics. Let me just throw out a couple of theories that we've already talked about, and then we're going to move on from this subject. Tom Brady's getting into investing into the Raiders. Does he know something that we don't know? Is the NFL also trying to get Mark to sell a major ownership in the team? Is his mother-in-law, not his mother-in-law, but his mother sick, Carol Davis, and he knows it's happening? Is she sick already? Are they making final results right now? Because the news just broke right now. And pretty interesting, guys. And we all know the value of the Raiders has went up in recent years since they moved to Vegas, and that gave Mark Davis the capital to buy the Aces, even though I don't think he should have. But he wants to be a solidified factor in Las Vegas. And he'll always own some of the Raiders, but how much? Again, he has 47% now stake ownership in the Raiders. I believe he's going to be parting ways with a good chunk of that. Probably 10%. You would probably need to sell 5% to 7% to pay the estate tax. Just to pay the estate tax if the mother or if Carol passes away. So that would bring him down to like 40%. Then he needs cash on hand to pay things, to pay players, this and that. So we're possibly looking at another 5% disappearing within the next year. So that would bring Mark Davis down to 35. As long as you're above 33%, you're pretty much a majority owner. I gotta research this, guys. But what I'm trying to say is, I predicted the Raiders would go to the Super Bowl in 2024. We're in the 2024 season. Or 2023, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I believe the Raiders will play in the Super Bowl. And I believe the Super Bowl is at Las Vegas, Allegiant Stadium, this year. So my prediction is where the Raiders were going to go to the Super Bowl and be in this Super Bowl in Allegiant Stadium, as many teams did. But we brought on Josh McDaniels, and we're having hardship, and we almost every year, teams that won very little games have went on to the playoffs and the Super Bowl. The Bengals did it, and I don't remember the others, but you can lose a lot of games one year and then be high ranking the next year. It is possible. It does happen. Does Tom Brady, the league, are they trying to get the Raiders and Mark Davis percentage to go down so they can eventually take control of the Raiders in a coup, because Mark Davis won't have as much percentage? I believe that's what's been trying to happen ever since the Raiders helped Mark Davis get into Vegas. They paid for $500 million or whatever, but then the taxpayers of Vegas paid for it. Long story short, the values of the Raiders is going up. Imagine Tom Brady gets a percentage. Mark Davis sells a little bit more. The NFL is trying to gain ownership completely or sell it to another team in the future. But do they know something we don't know? Are the Raiders going to be in the Super Bowl this year or next year? If things are staged or predicted or rigged, this is the beginning of a possibility and a theory that the NFL is rigging Mark Davis to lose stake in ownership, give it to their golden boy Tom Brady to avoid distractions, change the narrative, and the Raiders are going to win a lot of games, and the value's going to go up and up and up. And then Mark Davis will have less and less and less. Something to think about, guys. You let me know your thoughts on that other subject. All right, we'll come back in a couple of minutes. We're going to be talking Mike Mayock and what he said that exposed Mark Davis and the Raiders in a podcast. We'll be right back in about a minute, 30, 40 seconds. Oh, yeah, we just finished our first hour, Raider Nation. It's your boy, Mike Raider. This is Raider Football Talk, where we talk Raiders, we talk headlines, topics, hot topics. I rant, I rave, I give you guys my opinion, and I do whatever the heck I want when I'm live. Want to thank J-Dog, DB Crypto, Dionysus, BL, Machete, Machete? Give me a McTitty. And we got Mike G online. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. Consider becoming a member. Please consider super chatting me some questions. I appreciate the support. If you got it, I would greatly appreciate it. And all that other good stuff. Guys, we do have merchandise below. Hit that link. Let me know. Let me get a quick question from Mike G. I think Brady would be a good coach. Not that I want him at the Raiders by any means, but that seems like he doesn't take any crap from teammates. We already got Brady as a coach. We got Josh McDaniels. Patriots are just taking over the Raiders organization. And if you... I don't know, some people like that. I can't fathom it. Again, I want to thank all my official members for being a part of this channel, this show. And let's move on from the ridiculous nightmare of Tom Brady becoming a Raider in any sense, whether it be part owner or a quarterback. Remove me from this freaking nightmare. Mike Mayock just recently about a week and a half ago, went on the Chris Long podcast. Okay, we all know the failures. Why are you talking about an old regime like Mike Mayock? They're gone, him and Gruden. Well, again, a lot of us want to know what happened. A lot of us want to know. Let's see if I can get that to move up. There we go. A lot of us want to know what happened during his time. There's a lot of draft picks and a lot of things that went on behind the scenes that we technically don't have answers for. But Mike Mayock went on the Chris Long podcast and addressed a few or a good amount of some of these things. And let's talk about it. All right? Some of the highlights from this podcast are, and let me just read the text. Mike Mayock was on the Chris Long podcast, and he had some interesting things to say about his time with the Raiders. One of the things that he said John Gruden had the final say in everything when it came to drafting. Remember that was a headline? Everybody was like, you know, Mayock is not making the draft picks, that it's going to be John Gruden. All the draft picks are going to be Gruden. They're not really going to be Mayock. Mayock's going to give input. Will he actually make any of his own picks? Well, Mayock announced that John Gruden had the final say in every pick when it came to drafting. So, our answers were confirmed that Gruden had a hold of this team. Again, does that mean Mayock said, hey, I think this player's good, and then Gruden said, all right, I agree. He had the final say no matter what. Mike Mayock, he also said he tried trading up for both Nick Bosa and Quinnen Williams. And he also tried to trade down. That was when he had the fourth pick, I believe, for Cleveland Farrell. He said he also tried to trade up to get Nick Bosa or Quinnen Williams. And he also wanted to tried to trade down, but no one wanted to move up or down. No one wanted to move up or down at that number 4 spot. That's because nobody was interested in Clelin Ferrell. And now he went on to state, Clee was my guy. I was wrong on Clelin Ferrell. Well, let me be honest with you. Raider Nation knew it. We all knew it in our reactions. The experts knew it. And you tried to trade up to get Nick Bosa and Quinnen Williams, which meant Clelin Ferrell was lower on your board. Clelin Ferrell was lower on your board. But you had to stay at the number 4 pick and pick somebody, and you went with Clelin Ferrell. And you're admitting you were wrong. But didn't you just say Gruden has the final say? Are you avoiding throwing Gruden under the bus with that statement? Taking accountability? Because if Gruden has the final say, Clelin Ferrell was his pick. I'm just being honest. He might have been your guy, Mike Mayock. He might have been your guy, but he was picked by Gruden, according to your statements. A little bit of hypocrisy right there. But hey, it's good that you're admitting that you were wrong. Clelin Ferrell, I believe he's gone. He's a member of another team now. Wish him the best. But we all saw it, Mike. We all saw it. And we all knew. You should have. But blame it on Gruden. He had final say. Just being honest. You also wrote that you liked Josh Allen a lot. We also looked at Ed Oliver. Those were the other 2 guys in the conversation at 4. You're doubling down on ridiculousness. You just said you tried to trade up for Nick Bosa or Quinnen Williams. Now you like Josh Allen and you liked Ed Oliver. And those were the other 2 guys in conversation at number 4. Again, that means Clelin Ferrell is down on your board at like 5, 6, 7, 8th. And you went with him because it was a position of need. And then also you said that you were thinking about picking up Josh Allen? Was that because Gruden was still wavering on Derek Carr? So the rumors were true about Derek Carr every year possibly being cut or traded, that Gruden didn't like him? Why would you even mention Josh Allen when you had Derek Carr on the team? It's because he was in the conversation at number 4, as you just stated. That just proves that Gruden and you were 50-50 or 60-40 with Derek Carr being your starting quarterback if Josh Allen was in the conversation. Good to know. Good to know. I took phone calls on teams trying to trade for Derek Carr. What? Again, I don't know if this is during that draft or at the end of the season. I believe this was at the end of the season in 2021 after we went to the playoffs. But I'd have to go watch the podcast again. It's not quoted here. But let's pretend it was the draft. Let's pretend it was Gruden's draft and your draft. I took phone calls on teams trying to trade for Derek Carr. He was worth more than a first-round pick. Oh, at the end of the 21 season. Okay, we're talking at the end of the 21 season. That's before Josh McDaniels became the coach, and that was like around the time Mayock was fired, etc. This is after we went to the playoffs. Okay, so you took phone calls before McDaniels was hired, and he was worth more than one first-round pick. So that means Derek Carr was being sold, or you were getting offers for at least 2 first-round picks. at the end of the 21 season. Derek Carr could have got a huge value for Josh McDaniels. Did Mike Mayock relay that information to Josh McDaniels? I doubt it. There was no communication. Josh McDaniels, I'm going to stick with Derek Carr. I'm going to give him a contract. I'm going to try him out. I guarantee you, knowing what we know now, that Derek Carr was benched, this and that, Josh McDaniels, if he knew this information, would have went out and traded Derek Carr for at least a first or second rounder if he had this information. Or did this just prove that Josh McDaniels knew the value of Derek Carr and still said, I know I can trade him before the season even begins, but that'll make Raider Nation mad at me. I want to test him out, but I can get a first rounder for him. Because Derek Carr's value did not go down after the 21 season. It went down after he played for Josh McDaniels. Let's get that right. Derek Carr's value went down after he played for Josh McDaniels. That's why they couldn't get anything him for him, a trade or whatever, because they knew they had to bench him and release him and blah, 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 blah. But going into the season, Josh McDaniels, if he knew Derek Carr's more than one first-rounder value, he should have made the decision to trade Derek Carr then and there and got a first-round pick for him and whatever. Instead, he did a stupid experiment that he wasn't already trusting in Derek Carr, and he set this franchise back while still making the decision to get rid of Derek Carr. That shows you coaches don't communicate properly. They don't strategize properly. They don't get all the details. They don't call all the other teams. They don't parlay all their options before they start playing on the field. It just shows that Josh McDaniels has no plan. He had no plan coming into the season. Oh, Darren Waller needs a contract. Oh, I guess we'll give him a contract. Oh, Derek Carr, he's on his last year. We got to get him cheaper as possible. Okay, let's extend him. But I want to give him a 1-year extension. Oh, I don't know. Bam! We lost so much value. We lost so much value in a good head coach like Rich Bisaccia, and then from an idiot coach, Josh McDaniels, misplaying his hands. We'll leave it at that. I felt Rich Bisaccia could have been the head coach of the Raiders in 2022. He had a 12-week trial. That's the biggest mistake. That is the biggest mistake the Raiders have made. Mark Davis has made. Rich Bisaccia was a man. He got that team on a winning record. He always wanted to be a head coach. The team loved him. They played hard for him through all the turmoil, the adversity, that he helped them all come together. Him and Derek Carr and everybody else. They came together. They won their final 5 games, made the playoffs, almost beat the Bengals with the final drive. Everybody wants to blame Derek Carr. That's fine. But Rich Bisaccia was an angel gifted to the Raiders, and it was a sign for Mark Davis to give him a 1-year deal going into last season. The NFL wanted it. It was a good story. It would have showed that we're building from within, and that he's already got a chemistry with all the Raider players on that playoff roster. That was a mistake. We all knew it at the time. But Mark Davis is a clown. He wants that bright, shiny toy. And he wants Patriots to take over the Raiders. Because in his mind, his simple mind, Patriots win. Patriots win. Make a lot of money. Tom Brady wins. Patriot wins. John Gruden wins long time ago. I want Gruden. I want Patriot. I want McDaniels. I want Tom Brady. How about you want some Raiders? How about you want some Raiders? All right, and this was not in that note message of what Mike Mayock talked about, but he also talked about the money and paying the draft picks and the free agents. And he exposed Mark Davis doesn't have any money. Granted, this was the year they were in Oakland before they officially moved, but still they were in Oakland or in Las Vegas for at least 2 years with this regime. And he talked about when free agents or new contracts got given to draft picks and other, like, so if a draft pick was guaranteed like a 3-year deal with $15 million with like $6 million guaranteed signing bonus, or a free agent player got a 2-year $30 million deal with $12 million guaranteed, Mike Mayock said that these guarantees or these signing bonuses, for the most part, were 90% put onto the contract. What does that mean? Let me try to break it down into simpleton terms, because I'm a simpleton. But if a player had a $100 million deal like Derek Carr did at one point, and he was getting $40 million guaranteed, and it was a 5-year deal, that means Derek Carr was getting somewhere around $20 million a year, but he's getting 40 guaranteed. So even though he was getting $20 million that year from the initial contract, 40 of it was guaranteed. So he actually got $30 million that year, or 25, where that guaranteed money was put and placed on each additional year to equal out the $40 million guaranteed. So they separated that $40 million into those years. And that's why we still have dead cap or dead money on a lot of these former Raider players. Because again, that guaranteed money was taken as not guaranteed that first year, and it was placed on multiple years. Then that player is gone from our team. Then that money that is still guaranteed was placed on the cap, and now it's on the dead cap because that player is no longer on our team. So therefore, we still owe $5 million a year to certain players. That was part of the guaranteed money that he got when they made their official contract. I hope I'm explaining it. It sounds really weird. It just proves they're playing money games. So even though we hear the money is guaranteed, which it is, it's not guaranteed that first year. It's not even guaranteed that second year. It's guaranteed over the 5 years of the contract, or whatever the contract initially is. And again, multiple teams probably do this, but there are teams like the Rams and other teams that have richer owners that they pull that guaranteed money out of their bank accounts from their other business ventures to where they don't have dead cap, or they don't have to put it on their salary cap every year. Hence why they're able to go out and sign a free agent. Odell Beckham's available. They go out and sign Odell. Jalen Ramsey's available. They go out and sign Jalen Ramsey, because they got all that cap space that wasn't pre-allocated to that guaranteed money for the player, and they don't have that much of a dead cap. So, that was interesting for me to learn about Mike Mayock and how Mark Davis pays his players. So let's be honest, even though Derek Carr's on another team, I didn't look at the dead cap money. I think he's getting $5 million, but he's probably still owed 5 to 10 million, as well as other players. So pretty interesting, man. It was a great podcast. I recommend everybody check it out. A lot of the stuff that we thought was true ended up being true. Some information, about the trust, the respect, Gruden, Carr, Mayock, everything. We got some answers to it. So check out that podcast. It's a doozy. If you're a real hardcore Raider fan into the knowledge of the legacy or of the team, it's a great listen too. All right, guys, are you ready? Are you ready? It's schedule prediction time. That's right. You guys get out your pieces of paper. We're going to go over the schedule together. I'm going to pick a win and a loss, and I'm going to be brutally honest, guys. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have two scenarios. I have the positive Mikey Raider scenario, and then the guru Mikey Raider scenario. The conspiracy, the whatever, the tanking. We're going to talk about it. So get your pens and paper ready. Let's go with it together with me in the chat room. I want you guys to be a part of this segment. We're going to come right back. We're going to get it done. We're going to get it done. And let me just take a quick little 2-second break, and we'll be right back. What's good? What's good? What's good? Raider Nation, it's your boy Mikey Raider. This is Raider Football Talk. Please hit that thumbs up, that like, that subscribe button. I just want to say hello to Mondo, Michael F., Dionysus, Narmash Thrash is online, my brother from another mother. All of you guys are Big Tone 209 representing. We talking Raiders. We talking Tom Brady buying the Raiders. We talking ridiculous clown show and Mark Davis decision. Mike Mayock exposed Mark Davis and Derek Carr and John Gruden and all their mistakes and their failures. This clown show keeps getting better. Oh my God, I hate that I have to make fun of our Raiders, but that's my right as a Raider fan. I've been through so much that I have the right to do it. I have the right to do it. And I'm going to do it no matter what you idiot soy boys say. You're a hater. You're a DC lover. You're a Carr stan. You're a Mark Davis hater. You're not even a real Raider. I just sounded like Chunk from the Goonies. You're not even a real Raider. Hey, you guys. There's so many Raider video creators out there now. It's a podcast after podcast, and people. I'll be honest, I'm a little jealous, but it's getting a little scary. It's just getting a little scary. So I got my little niche of 2,000-3,000 fans. Love you guys. Appreciate you. I don't know what the future entails, but we got the schedule released yesterday. A lot of Raider video makers went live at 5 o'clock on the dot. Let's talk about our Raider schedule release. Because they got the passion, they got the energy, they got the health, they got the money in their bank accounts, or their parents take care of them, or they're stealing money from other Raider fans. Whatever the case is, they got the passion, the positivity, and they're not a disgruntled Raider video maker fan like me. I was like, should I go live? No. I'm going to let it simmer. It's like a good woman. You let it shimmer in the juices, okay? You let that schedule shimmer. You look at it, you figure it out, you predict it. You don't need to react live. You let it simmer. It's like having sex with a good woman. I'm gonna let you still got hair? Let it simmer. All right, I guess I'm into Harry's. All right. The schedule release came out. And you got your papers. You got your pens ready. You got it right in front of you. We're going to go through each game. And you're going to write it down with me. You're going to write down your prediction of a win or a loss for each game. Hopefully this will go quickly. But I tend to talk a lot, so who knows. Can somebody update me on the Lakers score? I know they're playing the Golden State Warriors. And they're ahead 3-2. Can somebody update me on the Lakers score? I appreciate it. Love you. Thank you. Let's go over the Raiders schedule as it was just announced. And I wrote a Twitter poll where I go, how many Raider games or primetime games will the Raiders have? All right. I predicted in my head 2. But apparently we got 4. We got 4 primetime games. All right. 53-46 Lakers. Appreciate you, Michael F. Love you. Appreciate you. So, there's the Raiders schedule, guys. Now, let me bring up the win-loss video that I make where I put an arrow, a green arrow if they win, and a red arrow down if I believe they're going to lose. Now, for continuity's sake, guys, get out your papers, do it with me, and write it in the chat room below. I appreciate it. Write down your answers alone, okay? This is my positive scenario. Why? Because I paid my bills, I stocked my fridge, I got food stamps, I got food in my fridge, paid my bills, paid my rent, and got a few $100 left over for next month, which I think I'll be able to pay my bills next month as well. So I'm in a positive mood, except for the news about Tom Brady. So this is a positive schedule review. If everything goes right for Josh McDaniels, if he's not tanking, if he's trying to coach up the team that we got, and this is barring if Garoppolo gets injured. Again, all of these other things I can't predict. All right? Let's do it. You don't need to hear me talk anymore. Let's start with the preseason, guys. I like to predict the preseason. Why not? I can't see the dates here. It's too small on my screen, so forgive me. But in week 1 of the preseason, we play the San Francisco 49ers. Do we get a win or do we not get a win? I predict the Raiders get a W. That's right. Josh McDaniels had the team now for 2 years. We do pretty good in the preseason. I believe we'll beat the 49ers with our young talent. If they drafted correctly. Then we got the at the LA Rams for preseason game number 2. Bam! Raiders get another victory. We 2-0 in the preseason. Then we got the big game at the Cowboys. They're a good team. The third preseason game is when they test their starters. Remember Josh McDaniels, what he did last year in the early preseason games? Didn't even play any of his starters. Will he do that again this year? I doubt it. But I think Brian Hoyer, Aiden O'Connell will be the quarterbacks for these games, and I think they're good enough to get a victory. Do we beat the Cowgirls? Yes, we do. We're 3-0 in the preseason. NFL is hyping up Josh McDaniels. Good. Let's go, McDaniels. McDaniels in the Raiders. All these young rookie players look so good. They're so amazing. 3-0 in the preseason, baby. Now, just to let everybody know, the schedule on screen does not go down. It goes sideways. So the first game would be Denver, the next one would be Buffalo, and the third one would be Pittsburgh, and the fourth one would be the Chargers. So, even though your eye tells you it goes down and down and down, it goes sideways. Okay? Just want to let you know that. So, we play at Denver in week 1. They got Russell Wilson, Mr. Unlimited. They got a new head coach in Sean Payton from the Saints. They got a Raider quarterback as the backup. That's right. Remember the guy that everybody loved last year? Go Stiddy. Let's go Jared Stidham. And they got a couple of other Raiders on their squad as well. Maybe Cleveland Farrell's one. I don't know. Long story short, we're playing in the altitude in Denver with a bunch of young players, and they probably have our playbook. And Sean Payton is a better coach. Do with it what you will. Do the Raiders beat the Broncos in week 1? I know it's a divisional game. And hopefully we can at least win or go 1-1 against every divisional team. Do the Raiders get a victory? Again, this is my positive. The Raiders lose. That's right. The Raiders lose. They ain't up to it. They ain't ready. He probably didn't play Jimmy Garoppolo all preseason. Threw Garoppolo into the fire in week 1 at Broncos. Sean Payton's a better coach. The altitude got to the young players. Josh Jacobs, is he on the roster? Is he still holding out? I'm just being honest. They got a good defense. We were in a lot of games last year, under 7 points. I pick it as a loss. Then we go to Buffalo. Josh Allen, very well coached team, should have been in the Super Bowl one of these past 3 years. Do we get a victory versus the Buffalo Bills? No, we do not. They are an all-around better team. Now, Sunday Night Football, our first primetime game versus the Steelers. And we're going to probably stay on the East Coast that entire 2 weeks before that game. Will Josh McDaniels make everybody fly back home, then practice, then fly back to Pittsburgh? I don't know what the choices will be. But we could have beat Pittsburgh last year. That was the Derek Carr game where he basically got benched and they think he lost it for us and whatever. But can we beat the Steelers? I think we beat the Steelers. I don't know who their quarterback is really. Their running backs, they got a new one, I believe, or if they're going to pan out. They're a good team, though. But I think we can pull it all together against the Steelers in a big game. Now, we're playing at Chargers, at the LA Chargers, the stupid Chargers, in week 5. Chargers are a good team. We beat them with the Rich Bisaccia team, but they always play us very, very well. And it is one of those games that you would love to be at. Do we beat the Chargers? Yeah, we do. We beat the Chargers. We're now 2-2. Things are looking up for the Raiders. Then we go to Monday Night Football versus Jordan Love. Garoppolo and Jordan Love. And is that at home? I think it says versus. Yeah, it says versus. So it's at home. So it's the first home game of the season for the Raiders. Right? Or it's the Pittsburgh Steelers the first game. All right, guys. I'm sorry. The screen is so small on my end. Forgive me for some of the mess ups. You know what? That gets me. Let me just quickly look at this. I think I have the roster that I can bring up to get a better view that I can read. Yeah, the Pittsburgh game is Sunday Night Football. And we win because that's at home in the 3rd week. We finally come home in the 3rd week. Then we're at LA Chargers, and like I said, we get a victory there. Then we're at home for the Monday Night Football versus the Green Bay Packers. Guys, and their team is depleted. This is call it the Devontae Adams revenge game, whatever you will. They got a young quarterback, Jordan Love. Do the Raiders get a victory? We do. We beat the Green Bay Packers. We have now won 3 in a row, coming into our biggest test of the season. The Patriots, we have to go to Foxborough or whatever, Gillette Stadium, whatever they call it nowadays. Kraft Stadium. we have to go to... Where's my schedule again? No, the New England's at home. My goodness. Sorry, guys. I have to look at it. It's not showing up very well. So, New England's at home. All right. What a game. What a game for Josh McDaniels, guys. What a game. What a game to solidify that he's a better coach than Bill Belichick, that we're a better team, that he got the better quarterback, because Bill Belichick always wanted Garoppolo. Do we beat the Patriots at home? That's going to be a ruckish game. So, do we give the game to the Patriots? Or do we prove we're the new Patriots? Sorry, guys. It's just confusing me. We beat the Patriots. We beat the Patriots. That's right. Then we go to Chicago. We should be able to beat Chicago. Even they're an up-and-coming team. We should be able to beat Chicago. And now the Raiders have literally won 5 in a row, according to my positive results. Again, this is barring that everything goes right for Josh McDaniels, Garoppolo, injuries, all that other stuff. That all of those close games that we lost last year are coming to our favor this year. We have now won 5 in a row, going into another Monday Night Football game versus the Detroit Lions. I believe that is in Detroit. They are a good team, and anything can happen with that team. They are an up-and-coming team. We've won 5 in a row. That's going to be a big Monday night game because they probably have won, 5 or 6 or 4 games at least by that point. Do we beat the Lions? No. It's in Detroit. It's a big game for Detroit. I see them beating the Raiders somehow, by any means. Now, I think we're going to stay on the West Coast. Sorry, the East Coast. No, but we're coming back home again. I'm kind of looking at the roster just like you guys did. Now we play the Giants in the Darren Waller revenge game. And they know our system. Darren Waller knows it a little bit, and he'll help out the Giants, and they're an up-and-coming team. Do we beat the Giants? The G-Men? No. We're on a downward spiral. We won 5 in a row. Now we've lost 2 in a row. Now we got Aaron Rodgers on Sunday Night Football. Do we beat the Jets? No! This is going to be a streaky season for the Raiders. We lose to both New York teams, one after the other. There's a lot of little scenarios in between each game that I can't think of. But now we got the Dolphins. And is Tom Brady part ownership of the team? This is, I believe, in Miami. Do we beat the Miami Dolphins? Yeah, we beat the Miami Dolphins. We beat the Miami Dolphins. We're now 6-4. I'm sorry, 6-5. We're now 6-5, basically a little bit better than 500. Now we got our rival, Kansas City Chiefs. At home, where they did the merry-go-round, the carousel at our home stadium in a revenge factor. These are the Super Bowl champs. We only won 1 game against them with Gruden a couple years back. We played them hard last year, but we all know what happens. Do we beat the Kansas City Chiefs? No. We are now 6-6. That's right. What a good time to have the bye week. And I appreciate that the bye is happening later rather than earlier. I appreciate that as a person. I appreciate that. I just hate that the bye week is in week 13. I would have rather it be in week 10, 11. Week 13 seems a little bit late, but with my predictions, we're kind of 6-6. We're on a downward spiral. We're a 500 team, and it'll give us a leg up. And we're at home pretty much those 3 weeks So we're going to be at home for the Kansas City game. That's a week or two. Then the bye week, that's a week. Then we come to see the Minnesota Vikings at home again. Then we got the Chargers at home. It's basically like a 5-week stretch at home. This is where the season is going to be won or lost for the Raiders. It's these 4 or 5 weeks at home or in the area. So in week 14, we place the Minnesota Vikings. Kirk Cousins always seems to play good. They are a spurry team. They almost always make the playoffs. Do we beat the Vikings coming off of a bye? Is Josh McDaniels going to create a history like Andy Reid where every year coming off the bye we get a victory? He did last year. Hopefully we do it again this year for 2 years in a row. Do we get a victory versus the Vikings? Yeah, we come out strong, y'all. We come out strong. Then we got Thursday night football just 4 days later. Thank goodness we got the bye week to get all that rest. So we got a game 4 days later in week 15 versus the LA Chargers at home in Vegas. Do we get a victory? Hopefully we can get 2 victories against the Chargers. Do we get a victory? Yes, we do. We go 2-0 against the Chargers. We go 2-0 against the Chargers. We're now 8-6. We're in the playoff hunt. Then we got to go at Christmas or Christmas Eve to Kansas City. They're always in the playoffs around this time. They're vying for position, for playoff supremacy, to have home games for top of their division. Do we beat the Kansas City Chiefs to make it 3 in a row? No. Sorry, guys. Until it's done, I'm not going to give it a credit. We lose to the Kansas City Chiefs on Christmas. All right? Sorry, guys. We are now 7. What are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are now 8-7. Is it 8-7? Yeah, we're now 8-7. Going into the final 2 games for a wild card spot. We have to play the Colts. We got to go to the Colts. They got that young roster. If that rookie quarterback is still there in week 17, they beat us last year, even with a bad coach. They beat us last year with a bad coach. Imagine what they could do with a good coach and a good quarterback. And they got a great defense. Do we beat the Colts? No! We lose to the Colts because it's playoff time and Josh McDaniels makes ridiculous decisions and we lose to the Colts. We are now, what are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're 7-9. I'm sorry, we're 7 and what? My math is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We are 8-8 going into the final game. We are 8-8, and you probably got to win 9 to 10 games to make a wild card in the AFC. I'm going to say 10 games, but there was a playoff team last year that got in with 9 wins. So we got a big game versus the Broncos at home. Do we go lose a second game to the Broncos, or do we beat them to hopefully get a wild card? We beat the Broncos, guys. We beat the Broncos. Okay? So we end up, goodness, this screen keeps pausing on me. So we end up, what is the record? 9-8. And we make the playoffs. We end up 9-8 and make a wild card, according to my positive predictions. What do you guys think for your predictions? Let me know the official roster. I believe we go 9-8 and make a wild card. Michael F., you got 11 wins. Colts scare me. They do me too, Michael F. Truth Monster, send some Las Vegas hooer to Reed, Shoots, and knock him off balance. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8. 9-8 Oh, to Andy Reid's suite and knock him off balance. I don't do no violence on anybody, Truth Monster. Don't do no violence on anybody. Threw 5 double leads last year due to coaching. All right, let me know your guys' actual numbers of victories below and my positive predictions with Jimmy Garoppolo hopefully not getting injured and everything going right for the Raiders. We win 9. We go 9-8, and we make a wild card, the final position. That's my positive prediction, guys. Big Tone, you got us going 10-7. Mike G, 7 wins, 10 losses. Much better than the record showed. Again, how many games did we win last year? 6? Was it 6? This is basically a 3-game improvement. You got us going 9-8. Narmosh, you got us going 4-14 or 5-13. You guys are tough just like me. All right, guys. Now, this is my tanking, my guru prediction if the NFL doesn't rig the season for the Raiders. Based off of everything I saw with Josh McDaniels last year and his draft picks and how he wanted to get a quality quarterback, but we didn't get in the top 3 spots to get one of those quality quarterbacks. And this is barring that Tom Brady doesn't become the quarterback of our team. And that Josh Jacobs probably doesn't sign early, struggles early, Garoppolo gets injured. Again, too many scenarios. But because I am a half glass empty person with the Raiders, I decided since I'm 2 people, I can be the positive Raider, Mikey Raider, or I could be the truthful Mikey Raider in the state of which I'm in right at the moment. And that's disgruntled and salty. So, I gave you the best prediction a minute ago. The best case scenario for the Raiders. From my heart, from my fandom, the Raiders go 9-8 if everything goes right. But we are the Raiders. And we know what happens to the Raiders. We know. We saw it all last year with Josh McDaniels. How we broke records on giving up points after halftime. We lost 6-7 games by less than 7 points. How does that happen? These are conspiracies. These are ridiculous negatives that affect our team. We lose John Gruden because of an email of calling somebody a tire. Because tires are black. We lost our head coach. We don't even sign Rich Bisaccia. He's selling the team to Tom Brady. We all know what happens to the Raiders. So, barring my good predictions and my positive predictions of everything that can go right, let's go into the probably truest form of the Raiders. And let me do my prediction of this is what will probably happen to the Raiders. I give it a 51% chance. But we all know with the Raiders in our history, this is a 60% possibility. Let's do it. All right, preseason. We'll start with preseason. We play the 49ers. Do we win? Versus the 49ers. Yes, we do. Do we beat the LA Rams? Yes, we do. And we also beat the Cowboys. That's right. Just like the last scenario, we're 3-0. Raiders are hyped up. We're ready for the season. We got on our beanies. We're representing. Josh McDaniels and the rookies look good. And just like the last scenario, we are ready for week 1 versus the Broncos. This is our year. We're going to go to the Super Bowl. Then we play the Broncos. And we beat the Broncos. Oh, my God, are you kidding me? In the last scenario, we lost to the Broncos. This scenario, we beat the Broncos. Why? Because we on a positive momentum kick. Raider Nation is up in arms. We win the first game, blah, blah, blah. Then we face the Bills. Do we beat the Bills? No. We shouldn't beat the Bills. They are a much better team all around. We're still positive, though. We're going into Sunday Night Football versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. At home. Our first home game. Raider Nation comes out. We representing. Let's go. Do we lose to the Steelers? We lose to the Steelers. Then Garoppolo gets injured in that game. Garoppolo gets injured in that game. It came down to the end and he got injured in the fourth quarter on a drive where we were going to score or go up 10 points. And then he gets injured and he leaves the game, and then they take a kickoff return and they score 7 points to beat us in the final 50 seconds, and they win. And they win. Oh no. Now we got the Chargers. We got the Chargers in LA, a home game for the Raiders. What's going to happen? Do we beat the Chargers? Oh, we lose to the Chargers. Are you kidding me? Why do we lose to the Chargers? How do we lose to the Chargers? I don't know what happened to my screen. Sorry, guys. Let me get my screen back. We lose to the Steelers. Then we play the Chargers. We lose to the Chargers. Sorry, my screen is just really messing up. Then we lose to the Chargers. Oh, no, we've lost 3 in a row. How do we lose to the Chargers at home? They are a good team. Then we got Green Bay. Monday Night Football. They got Jordan Love, but we don't have a quarterback because, remember, he got injured. He's at least gone 3 or 4 weeks. Garoppolo. So we had to put in Hoyer. But Hoyer didn't play so good versus the Chargers. He didn't play so good. So they're thinking about testing out Aiden O'Connell versus the Green Bay Packers on Monday Night Football. Is this at home? Yeah, we got the Packers at home. Monday Night Football. So we got a rookie quarterback versus basically a rookie quarterback in Jordan Love. Do we beat the Green Bay Packers in the Davante Adams revenge game? Yeah, we do. We do. Davante Adams makes a miracle play, catches the ball at the end, and he catches 20 catches in that game, and we win by 4 points. Oh, all is good in Raider Nation. All is good. All is good. We're having the time of our life. We've won 2 games in a row. All right, we got the Patriots. We got the revenge game coming up in Vegas. We're going to take over. We're going to start a dynasty. It all starts now. We play the Patriots. Josh McDaniels. The Patriots know everything about the Raiders. We don't have Jimmy Garoppolo. We got Aiden O'Connell and Davante Adams, who made a miraculous play to win us versus Green Bay. Now we play the Patriots. We play the Patriots. Oh, goodness. We lose to the Patriots. We lose to the Patriots because they need a win. Josh McDaniels tanks the game. Makes all these bad decisions and helps the Patriots win. Even though we were still in it with Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer. But we're possibly getting Jimmy G back versus Chicago. So our season is still not over. Even though we're 4-2, our season is not completely lost. Our season hinges on basically the next 3 games. We got news that Garoppolo might come back and play versus the Bears. But he aggravates something and he decides to not play that game. And we play the Bears. And we beat the Bears somehow. We got a better team. We beat the Bears. The Raiders are now 4-3. Now we go on Monday Night Football versus the Detroit Lions. Jimmy Garoppolo is officially back. He's officially back from whatever injury, hanging out with the hookers. Now we face the Detroit Lions in Detroit to Travel Day Monday Night Football. And we lose to Detroit. They are so good. We are now 3-5, and our season is pretty much in the balance. Josh McDaniels is thinking about tanking because we've only won 3 games, and that would get us a top 3 draft pick of a quarterback in next year's draft if he tanks the rest of the season? Should he? Shouldn't he? Garoppolo is no longer an option. He got injured again this season. And he didn't play so good against Detroit when he came back from injury. Now there's a possibility that we can be in the top 3 drafting for a quarterback in McDaniel's 3rd year. Will he tank? That's the questions going into the New York Giants game from all Raider fans. Playing against Waller and the pretty good G-men. And we lose to the Giants. We have now lost 6 games. You have to be at least 9-7 or 9-8 to get a wild card. We've now lost 6 games. All right. We play the Jets with heart, with everything we can muster. Garoppolo comes out strong, but Aaron Rodgers proves he's the better quarterback. And the Jets beat us. We have now lost 7 games and only won 3. The chances of making the playoffs are probably 15%. We have to basically win out to make the wild card. This is the official tanking point of knowledge for the Raiders and McDaniels. And all the rumors are they're tanking. They've lost 3 in a row. They're going to tank for the top 3 pick or top 4 pick to get a quarterback. And now we face the Miami Dolphins. And we lose to the Dolphins. Now the tanking is real. The season is over. We pay the Kansas City Chiefs. We lose to the Kansas City Chiefs. And you all know what's going on from there. Now we go into the bye week. Jimmy Garoppolo is benched. They're going to play Aiden O'Connell the rest of the season to see what they got. And Jimmy Garoppolo's future is up in the air, just like Derek Carr's was last year, because Jimmy Garoppolo has lost basically the past 5 games. Now, because Aiden O'Connell won a game early with the help of Devontae or whoever, that they want to test him out. So now Aiden O'Connell is our quarterback for the future, and we come off the bye week. We played the Vikings, and we lose to the Vikings, and then we got Thursday Night Football a couple of days later for Aiden O'Connell or Brian Hoyer or whoever else. Season's over. Why put Jimmy Garoppolo back in? Or they might put him in just to save face. Do we beat the Chargers? Yeah, we do. Somehow. They put Garoppolo back in. We get a victory just to quiet the storm, to get our 4th victory of the season, because all the other teams have won 3 or 4 as well. So we're still in that top 4 or 5 category to get a draft pick, maybe a quarterback. Then on Christmas Day, we play the Chiefs. And of course, we're going to lose that game. Then we play the Colts. And if we're tanking, the proof will be in the next couple games. Then we lose to the Colts. Then we play the Broncos. And depending on what the other teams have done in the league, meaning the teams that have lost 4 or 5, they've only won 3 or 4 or 5 games, depending on that scenario, do we beat the Broncos? Yeah, we beat the Broncos. Just to save face, to look like it's going to be a better season next year. And we basically go, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We go 5-12. That's right. That's my tanking. That's my what really happens to the Raiders scenario. Again, we thought he was tanking this past year, and they still ended up winning 6 games, I believe. But next year, and we won 6 games, and we ended up with the 7th spot. So if we would have won 5, we would have had the 4th or 5th or 6th spot in the draft. So you technically should need to probably lose or only win 4 games to have a top 3 or 4 pick. So I think that's what Josh McDaniels will do. At some point in the season, Garoppolo will get injured. They will test out Hoyer and O'Connell, And at some point in the season, all is going to be lost for the Raiders. So they're going to start playing their rookies, getting them up to speed, and we're going to be tanking for a top 3 or 4 draft pick and possibly getting another quarterback going into his 3rd year. That's my prediction of probably the truest scenario for Josh McDaniels from a salty fan. But my other prediction, if everything goes right, is 9-8, and with everything here, 5-12. Hope you guys had fun while we went through that crazy theory of what truly seems to happen to our Raiders all the time. Just being honest. All right, guys. We're going to come right back. Please consider hitting that super chat button, that like button, subscribing, becoming a member. Hope you guys enjoyed that last segment. We're going to come right back. We're going to close out the show, take your questions, and get on out of here. Update me on the Lakers score. I'll be right back. What's up, Raider Nation? This is the Nation Live segment where I answer a few of your questions if you got any. Please get them on the screen. If you wanted to talk about in detail or more detail anything I said during the show, if you want to prove me wrong, let me know in the chat room. I'll be here for about 5 or 10 minutes, and we will get it going. All right, guys, give me some questions. Well, what are your thoughts on the season, the schedule? Let me know. Draft picks you like, anything. Let's go. All right, what is it? 76-63 Lakers? What quarter? 3rd quarter, 4th quarter? Or they got quarters, right? Or halves? No, college. College basketball has halves. Michael, you said stop the injury talk. Wait till it happens. Hey, man, I was just throwing out scenarios, brother. I know you don't want anybody to get injured, and it hurts you to think that way, but it was fun. It was fun being a disgruntled, salty Raider, which I am. It was fun. I don't want it to happen. Of course I don't. Of course I don't. But it seems to happen. What if the refs screw us? That's a possibility. They always do in some way. If the refs screw us, we'll go undefeated, raising the Raiders' value, solidifying McDaniels as a coach. That's a good theory, Dionysus. It's the 3rd quarter, Big Tone. Thank you. Well, this is next season in a nutshell. Considering Angela White comes to Vegas between wins 2 and 3, exactly when and where our quarterback goes down, injuries to hook her up. Considering Angela White comes to Vegas between win 2 and 3, yeah, I don't know who that is. Sorry, Duet. Duet Storm, and to enjoy 401. Mark Davis says providing in Vegas for Patriots veterans. So my hunch is 4-8 before McGenius leaves. He won't get fired next year. Not at all. Not at all. Even if we went 5-12 or 4-8, he won't get fired at all. He's got a 4-year deal. Mark Davis cannot afford it. He'll at least give him 3 years like he did Gruden. Again, he'll at least have next year. He won't be fired. And if he's fired, it'll be in his 3rd year or at the end of the 3rd year. I'm optimistic because of our new defensive line. And he's already got rid of our quarterback, so now he will coach. Again, Michael, I love your optimism. You are a better human being than I am. most of the time. I bet you, bro. Okay, Duet. I'm going to remember that. And if it comes true, excuse me, I'm going to remember you forever, Duet. What's up, Raider Paul? Salute to you, too, brother. Dominic Valpando. Do I think Jacobs will play? Yes. Josh Jacobs will play. He will hold out as long as he can until he actually gets fined in training camp, or if that's a possibility or something like that. But that's $10 million even on the franchise tag. That's like $500,000 a game or a little bit more. And that's still life-changing money. You know, even before he gets injured, to make a couple of $1 million. And I hope he doesn't get injured. I don't know why I'm thinking about that. But we all know that they're not going to give him a contract. They're not going to up him, give him a contract. They're not going to. They got him on the franchise tag this year. They possibly have him the next year as well. They're going to play him. They're going to run him into the ground, and then they're going to draft rookies or play their rookies, and then hope Josh Jacobs will perform like he did last year for the $10 million. They're not going to give him any bonuses or anything like that. That's just my prediction. Josh McDaniels doesn't have him in him to pay running backs. They go through multiple running backs, and they don't care. So Josh Jacobs will not get a long-term deal. And then once the money becomes official and it's like the start of training camp or the preseason, Jacobs will come in and he'll play on whatever the franchise tag that he has to play under. He won't be happy. He will not be happy. And will he play as hard? Probably not. But he will play. If Belichick's contract is up, interesting. Demon Bliss, what's up, brother? Demon Bliss is a member. You can see it from the star. He is a Raider Central Live gangster, and I love you for that. You couldn't have been more support on with your salty take. I don't understand what that means. You couldn't have been right? I don't know. Mikey the GOAT, thank you. Oh, spot on. You couldn't have been more spot on with your salty take. It's what I see, Demon Bliss. It's what I see. You know, we go to the playoffs and then the next year we win 5-6 games. We lose our franchise quarterback. Raider Nation's killing each other, fighting each other. It's crazy. They will give him an extension. They can always trade. They will not give Josh Jacobs an extension. They will not. They got him on the franchise tag. Why would you give up the franchise tag and you can hold it against somebody and then give them more money on an extension? Doesn't make any sense. They can always trade. It's a possibility. But he would still have to get a contract from the other team if that's what he wants. The other team could trade for him and he'd still be on the franchise tag. And then he would possibly still have to play for the other team on the franchise tag. So, it's interesting. Thanks, bro. You did a fine show. See you soon. Don't head out. Show's not over. We got some other stuff coming up. Arkham Raider, what's up, Arkham? I'm watching some new Batman show called The Gotham Knights. It's like these young little Batman son or stepson or whatever. Whatever. I like Batman stuff, though. Salute, Mikey. Hope you're doing well. I paid all my bills, got my fridge open, dyed my hair. I'm online with you guys. I'm alive. It's a blessing. Josh Jacobs will be traded in the offseason. Yeah, I don't think he will. But it is a possibility. But the other, like I just said, the other team will have to give him a new contract for a running back. And how many running backs are going to be given a contract to make more than $10 million a year, which is what he's getting on the franchise tag? So if another team trades for him, they got to give up draft picks. Then they got to give up more than $10 million a year plus guaranteed money for a player. it's a hard sell. It's a hard sell. It might be better value to keep him on the team under the franchise tag, and Josh McDaniels will just play the life out of him. Sure, he's a professional. He wants him happy. If he signs a 3-year deal, they could trade after season 1 and get picks, unlike Carr. They should have traded Carr when they came into the team. And what you're saying, Michael, they should do that with Jacobs. Because after this year, he has no value to the Raiders. He's already disgruntled right now. Well, he's a good running back, but our front office is not. No matter a tag or give up. That's right. No matter a tag or give up. As you all say, Garoppolo is too fragile, so you want a good ground game. Yeah, but with McDaniels brought in 1,000 slot wide receivers. And Garoppolo doesn't throw the ball deep. And remember what Garoppolo did well with the 49ers? Even though he's going back to McDaniels' system, Garoppolo hasn't been in that system in 5-6 years. But they used Deebo Samuel and all those crossing routes and with Garoppolo. And Garoppolo doesn't have a deep ball. Garoppolo is a short, quick passer. So that's why there's 1 million slot wide receivers for McDaniels to help Garoppolo get rid of the ball quickly. So that's the system. It's not the Raider system of running the ball and throwing it long. It is now running the ball, then slot wide receivers, quick and foremost. Josh McDaniels is here to clean all the Gruden players. That's true. Nice Raider shirt. Yeah, Tim Brown, Hall of Fame, 2015 Hall of Fame shirt. I was supposed to meet Tim Brown that day. He was supposed to show up to we had a beach party, all the Raider Nation. It was called the beach party. I forgot what it's called. The beach bash. He was going to show up and sign autographs and pictures. And then he didn't show up. But they sold his t-shirts. And he was at a golf tournament. So he avoided the beach and he was at the golf tournament. Jimmy G is not the answer. Yes, he's not. He's not. Nor so was Derek Carr. Again, let's just be honest. We might like Derek Carr. You might not like him. He wasn't the answer as well. It didn't work out. I want egg on my face. Everything that I think that's bad for the Raiders to happen. Coach Belichick and Brady as quarterback, and they bring back old school Raider culture. Wouldn't that be a sight? Not going to happen. But Brady might be a Raider. What's up, Tony Raider? I just shouted you out earlier as being a member, man. Sorry, Mikey, I'm at work. Don't ever be sorry, brother. I love you. Jimmy G was never the answer, even for the 49ers. Mikey definitely enjoyed the losing scenario way more. I know. It's just fun. James Harry. What a great name. But, yeah. That's probably more so what's going to happen to the Raiders was that scenario. Jimmy G is a dink and dunk quarterback. He's been raised in the system and now he meets his dink and dunk guru. That's the Patriots culture. Mark Davis has been sold a lemon. I added the lemon there. Michael F., I can't say that I never gave him a top 20 defense. NFL wouldn't allow old way Raider style. That's true. We will go after the quarterback from USC next year. Yeah, he is a possibility. He's the guy that writes stuff like on his hands, right? Like players' names or victory or whatever. All right, guys, we're coming right back. We're going to close out the show. Got a couple little tidbits to add. Thank you guys for chiming in. And we're going to come right back in about 30 seconds. We're going to close out the show. And you guys are going to enjoy it. What's up, Raider Nation? It's your boy, Mikey Raider, coming to you with the last finale, the last drag of the show. I shouldn't say that. That's a topic that's not meant to be talked about. And just for shoots and giggles, I didn't get one super chat. I didn't get one member added to this show. Come on, guys. Become a member. I'll see it on screen. Super chat. Help support me. I appreciate it. But you don't owe me nothing. But I'm just making a joke out of the situation. Because I'm trying to do it for a living. And you cannot make a living when people don't join or don't hook you up. It's really, really hard. All right, that being said, let's take a quick look and go over what we talked about in today's show. We talked about Tom Brady basically joining the Raiders in a minority ownership detail. And do I want that to happen? And is there a possibility of him becoming a quarterback? It's looking very, very interesting, guys. But this just proves that the NFL and Mark Davis needs to sell the Raiders to the highest bidder and that we are losing our culture. We went over all the draft picks, gave them my grades, expert grades. We saw the undrafted free agents that we picked up, talked about them a little bit. I gave my official draft grades for the players. Then we talked about Mike Mayock on the Chris Long show and all the things he exposed about Derek Carr's value and how McDaniels made a mistake and the money guarantees and how Mark Davis has no money, hence why he's selling the team. A lot of good information in that segment, so check earlier in the show, or maybe I'll cut it up as a clip. I also did my schedule prediction. Guys, where I went over two scenarios. I went over my positive Mikey Raider scenario, where the Raiders can win 9-8 games, make the wild card. Then I also went over the truthful, toxic, negative, tanking scenario that the Raiders normally have. That's a good segment to watch. I had a good time. We came up with some stories. Did Garoppolo get injured during it? You're going to have to watch that segment again to get noticed. Tony, did you just pay your boy? Did you just buy me a taco? I love you, Tony Raider. You're awesome. Tony Raider, man, he used to play for the Arena Football League. That's right. I love you. Wishing you the best, my friend. Raider Nation. For life. Thank you, Tony Raider. You bought me a taco. Yeah, you bought me a taco. Even inflated tacos are about... No, that's right. I get 60%. So I get 40, 80, $1.20, $1.60. No, 60, 120, 180, 240. I get $3. Yeah, you bought me a taco. You bought me a cheap taco. But I still love you, brother. Thank you. God bless you. All right, so here's an interesting prospect that I saw. All right, the XFL, the championship game's coming up tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I enjoyed the XFL season. But wouldn't this be an amazing scenario? Apparently this happens on the show Ted Lasso. Maybe it happens in the Premier League of soccer. I don't really follow that league, but I know it happens in the show Ted Lasso, where at the end of every NFL season, the winner of the XFL championship should play the worst NFL team that season. So whoever was the worst NFL team this past season, I think it was Carolina, they should play the winner of the XFL championship. Then, if the XFL team wins, they will get promoted to the NFL, and the NFL team that lost will now be demoted to the XFL. I like this. I like this. That would take away tanking. You know? In a weird way. It will never happen. it's not even a scenario that'll work because the XFL plays in April, in March, and then the NFL teams are on their break, so the players are not on rosters, and it's before the draft. It'll never happen. But this would be pretty awesome. Maybe in the preseason, make it a preseason game. Make it a preseason game. Or right after the end of the season, like in January, that the XFL team plays the NFL team. I like the scenario. I don't know. You guys let me know what you think. I think it's pretty cool. That'd be fun to watch. But again, we all know that even the worst NFL team is probably 10 times better and more advanced than any XFL championship team. So, we got the XFL championship tomorrow. It is the Arlington Renegades and the DC Defenders. I enjoyed this season. The DC Defenders were fun to watch. The Renegades barely made the playoffs, and then they won like 3 straight. And then their quarterback went on their roster, Luis Perez. He was with 3 other teams during the season. And then he became on the Arlington Renegades roster like 3 weeks ago, and they've won 3 games to barely make the playoffs. And then they beat out the first couple teams in the semifinals, and now they're facing the DC Defenders. The head coach of the DC Defenders is, or at least the defensive coordinator, is the guy that was in the Bounty Gate. I think his name is not. Is it Greg Roman? Might be Greg Roman. But he was the coach of Cleveland for a while. But he was in the New Orleans Saints Bounty Gate, where he paid players to injure other players. But he's like the defensive coach for the DC Defenders. And they got a pretty good team. They're all around pretty dang good offensively and defensively. They've held almost every team under like 21 points all season in the XFL. And they won like 8 or 9 games, 8-2, making it to the championship. The Renegades were like 4-6, somehow made it to the championship. But I'm enjoying it, and I'm looking forward to watching football tomorrow. So check it out. Check out the XFL championship tomorrow. 95-80 Lakers. Thank you, Michael F. Appreciate you. Love you. So, yeah. Let me know who you guys think will win. I think the DC Defenders will win. They got a better overall defense. And they've played great all season. And I think their head coach is saving it for the championship game. Just everything to throw the book at them. And they got a thing called the beer snake in DC, where they take all the plastic cups and they put them together and they create this long beer snake, and it drags around the fans or the stadium, and they got a big snake of all the plastic cups, and then they poke a hole in it and they throw beers in it. So they poke a hole in each plastic when they create the snake, then they pour beers and it goes down the snake with all the holes, and then somebody's at the bottom, drinking the beer. And you got to love that from the fans. Then the lemons that come with the lemonade to get the cups, they throw them when the other team scores a touchdown or whatever. They throw the oranges and the lemons. Pretty fun. DC's got a fantastic fan base. And let's be honest, anything in Texas, even for Houston, they got another team in there called the Houston Roughnecks. Arlington, that's in Texas. Texas has got some good teams, and they know how to play football. So with the Renegades story of how they won like 3 in a row to make the playoffs, and they got to the championship, and the DC Defenders blowing everybody out, it'll be a fun game. But at the end, the DC Defenders will win 34-19. And with the XFL, they got crazy scoring rules. Like, you can go for 1 point, 2 point, or 3 point at the end. Then in overtime, you can go for it on 4th and 25 to get the ball back. It's a fun watch. It's a fun watch. If you haven't watched any of the games this season, go check out the championship. You'll have a good time. 7 players, not 11, and no out of bounds. Pretty good league. Pretty good game. Can't wait to see it and enjoying it. All right. Let's see what the Three Stooges do in the next couple weeks while we come to you with a new Raider Football Talk. Thanks for chiming in. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show. If there's anything else you would like me to see in the future, again, please consider becoming a member of this channel, supporting your boy. I appreciate you. I love you. And I will hopefully cut up some videos, have some more clips for you guys, and some exclusive content for members only in the coming days. That being said, I love you guys. Thank you. Let's get on out of here and have a blessed day. So, for Michael F., Tony Raider, Dionysius, everybody that was online, Dominic Valpondo, everybody else, Jacob, Dion, Brenton, Arkham, Pirate 1975 got online a little while ago, Arkham Raider, Truth Monster, Machete, MacTitty, Mike G. I love you guys. God bless. And I'll see you soon.